Welcome back to the Bears Baseball Network. It was another great weekend of Bears baseball. And Bernie, we have a brand new team with the most tournament championships in a single season. It is that 13U Birnstill roster. Bernie, never had a team in the Bears win 12 tournament championships in a single season. This team just continues to show a level of consistency, a level of star power that we've never seen in the Bears' history. Bernie, you're coaching a very special team. Arguably one of the best the Bears have ever seen. What's it like here to reach that milestone? I know it's been a big goal for you in the last month and a half.
Yeah, that it was a goal that I think the first month and a half of the season, I don't think that I would have even imagined was attainable. I don't think we won our first championship till the middle of May, and that's 5-6 weeks into the season. So ever since that point, something clicked in the middle of May, and man, we've been on a roll, and we haven't stopped for nobody.
Yeah, Bernie, it's been a very, very special season. We're going to talk about some of the record breakers, players on this roster that have really made it possible. But, Bernie, you've got one more goal ahead of you. It's going to be a tough one because obviously only 2 weeks left in the season, but you could be the fourth member of the 60-win club if you were able to get it done. I think you need 6 more wins in the last 2 weeks, Bernie, so certainly not impossible, and I'm rooting for you there to be that fourth team in that club. KJ, 2 other teams who won this weekend. 16U Floyd had another big GMB tournament win, was very, very impressive. And then, of course, 18U Dalton, 17U Dalton, they come out and take care of business this weekend as well. KJ, I know you were caught up at your games. I don't know how much of you got to catch of these 2 teams, but what were your overall thoughts, and what have been your thoughts about the fall of 6U Floyd and 17U Dalton?
Yeah, I think both these teams, it's kind of a testament to how deep each one is. It seems like neither of these teams really have, that one superstar, or there's 2 superstars. When we think about Bernie's team, it's Rudy and Harrison. But these teams just have a group of just a lot of superstars. So, it seems like it's a new guy stepping up every week for them.
Bernie, we already had a team record break with 12 tournament championships, but let's talk about some of the individual records that your team has already broken. There's been 3 Bears records that have already been broken, starting with Harrison Blebaum set the all-time Bears record for hits in a single season. He's at 138 right now, Bernie, and he's still got 2 weekends to go. And then Harrison Blebaum also broke the Bears record for RBIs in a single season. He's at 129. Realistically, Bernie, obviously, Harrison broke his own hit record, broke a RBI record that had been standing for a little while. I believe since 2017 that RBI record had stood in the Bears. What do you realistically think that these numbers could end up at? He's at 129 RBIs, 138 hits. Is it possible he gets to 150? That'd be 2 big weekends, but don't doubt Harrison Blebaum is what I learned. What do you think these records could realistically end up at?
Yeah, I think for sure he has a chance to hit 150 here. I'm talking about 6 hits a weekend. We play at least 4 games. He's definitely in range of that. And what's the RBI count at right now?
It's at 129.
129. That's a lot of RBIs, man.
That is a lot of RBIs.
I'll say, he could hit high 130s. Maybe touch 140. It's gonna be on some of these guys in front of him to get on base so that he can drive them in.
And KJ, I feel like this is going to be a tough question because I believe when these records were set back in 2017, back in 2019, we maybe were saying they were unbreakable. But do you think this Harrison Blebaum hit record, he's going to be close to 150, and this Harrison Blebaum RBI record, are these going to be unbreakable records, or do you see somebody in the future, maybe even Harrison himself, breaking these again?
Yeah, it's a tough question, but I know for Harrison, these aren't just happenstance records. These didn't happen by mistake. I mean, he puts in the work. This is a guy who's a Bud Dome every day of the week, basically. So he puts in the work. I think it's possible for another guy to do it if he can match the work ethic that Harrison has.
Yeah, and it could be even Harrison himself. Obviously, as you get a little bit older, the age gets a little bit tougher to get these big hit numbers, but we were saying that last year when Harrison put up his monster hit total from last season that, of course, he broke this year. The other record, Bernie, that was a Bear record broken already by your team here is Owen Lewis, 121 strikeouts in a single season. The previous record was set in 2021. He sets the new Bear record for strikeouts, and, I feel like, depending on who you ask, strikeouts is one of those stats that, some coaches really, really value, some coaches don't value so much, but how important is it, Bernie, to just take pressure off the defense, to shut down opposing offenses when you can get these big strikeout totals? And again, Owen does it so efficiently that he's able to pitch a lot of innings and get these high strikeout numbers. How impressive is it, Bernie, to have this big strikeout total?
Yeah, I think if you ask the general Bears population, what kind of pitcher is Owen Lewis? They'd say mostly a guy those off-speed pitches, contact guy who's not going to walk that. He's not going to walk basically anybody. But at some points, man, Owen Lewis can flip it on to where he's one of the best strikeout pitchers in the Bears. There was a point this past week in the championship game. We had control of the game. I think we were up like 6-0. It was like the second inning. The other team had second, third, nobody out. And all of a sudden, Owen Lewis rings off, strikes out the first two guys, and he gets the third out via pop-up. But he has the ability to do it. That curveball is very good. His fastball is good. He can heat up when he wants to.
I mentioned Owen's able to get a lot of these strikeouts while pitching a lot of innings. Owen Lewis is almost certainly going to break the innings pitched record in the Bears. He's at 89.2. The record is 92, so almost certainly going to break that by the end of the season. And then Harrison Blebaum is almost certainly going to break the 12-13U batting average and OPS records. He looks very comfortable to do that as well. A couple of the other age records at 12-13U. The doubles record, Harrison has already broken. He's at 39. That is a 12-13U record. And, of course, the innings pitch record for Owen Lewis has a 12-13U record. So, again, the record breakers, you've got arguably Bernie, one of the best hitters in Bear history and one of the best pitchers in Bear history. And, in the spring, you had one of the best rookies in Bear history. That's obviously a great combination for success. KJ, let's talk about some of these other record breakers. Another guy who broke an offensive and pitching record in the same season is Evan Lancaster. He broke the 14-15U doubles record and the 14-15U strikeouts record. KJ, when you talk about guys in the Bears who are dual threats, Evan Lancaster getting doubles with the plate, getting strikeouts on the mound, how impressive is it to have a two-way kind of record-breaking season like that?
Yeah, it's really valuable, and a lot of times you see the top pitchers are guys who are pitchers first, and then they earn a lot of at-bats because they're such good pitchers, but for Evan, it's not the case. I mean, this guy has huge value when he's on the mound, and he has huge value when he's not pitching and when he's just a hitter. So, he's got value all around.
Yeah, very, very impressive. So those are all the records that have already been broken here in the 2024 season. We've still got 2 weekends left in the youth and 3 weekends left in high school. Let's go to some of the other records that are close calls that very realistically could be broken. Bernie, we have never had a season in the Bears that 2 pitchers struck out triple digits. That's already happened. Evan and Owen did it. We've got a chance for a third pitcher to do it, Bernie, in Owen Haynes. He's looking to match the 11-12U strikeout record. It was 101. He's got 2 weekends left. He's at 93 right now, Bernie. How realistic is it for Owen Haynes to, number one, get to 100, and number two, to break that strikeout record at 11-12U? He's at 93. He needs 101 to tie the record, 102 to break the record. What do you think about Owen Haynes' chances, Bernie, to be A, in that 100 club, and B, to break the record?
Yeah, I'd put a pretty high chance here unless, we get a rain hour or something like that. Because, this guy, if we play the full weekend, he's going to take the ball on Sunday. I think he gets at least 5-6 strikeouts each game. So that puts him, right in the mix of the record at 101, 102. And I think that, if we play both weekends, he has a good shot at it.
Owen Lewis, with 2 really good starts, could break the youth FIP record of all time. It's 1.45. Owen is currently at 1.24, so 2 good starts could very easily break that. Looking ahead to a little bit of the older guys, Bernie, Lucas Wilburn and Logan Payne, both with chances to break 14-15U offensive records. Lucas Wilburn's batting .493. The record at 15-16U is .466. So, KJ, percentage-wise, is that 100% for you? I mean, it's going to be very tough to lose 30 points of batting average in 3 weeks. Is that 100% for you?
I'd say 100%.
And then Logan Payne, this one's probably not 100%. He needs 11 hits in 3 weekends to break the 14-15U hits record. KJ, we've only had one high school guy, we've had one high school guy in history get 100 hits. That would be a real tall test, KJ, to get 14 hits in 3 weekends. Certainly not impossible, but give me a percentage that he breaks the 14-15U record, which he needs 11 hits to do, and a percentage that he gets 100 hits, which he needs 14 hits to do in the last 3 weekends for Logan Payne.
Yeah, I'd say it just depends on, how the team plays. If the team is playing deep into Sundays and, if they get 12 games in the next 3 weekends, I think he very well gets that 11 hits. And I think even 12 games sets him up, for a shot at the 100.
Yeah, very, very close for Logan Payne. He's had a kind of sneaky, very good offensive season. I know a lot of stars on that team we've talked about, but Logan Payne certainly throwing his name in the hat there. Moving on to 15-16U, Bernie. Have not broken 15-16 record yet, Bernie, but we've got a lot of guys who are close. So I'm going to run through these a little bit rapid fire. You tell me, which of these do you think is the most likely to be broken here? Andrew Willeret is 10 hits away from breaking the 15-16 hits record. Ben Combs is 11 hits away from breaking the 15-16 hits record. Wyatt Poore is 5 doubles away from breaking the 15-16 doubles record. Ben Combs is 6 doubles away from the doubles record. Ben Combs has 11 RBIs from the RBI record. Which of those 5 offensive records do you think is most likely to break, Bernie? I know I threw a lot at you. Willerette hits, Ben Combs hits, Wyatt Poore double, Ben Combs doubles, Ben Combs RBI. Which do you think is the most likely to be broken here by a Floyd player?
Yeah, I'll go with that. Willerette's going to get is going to get the hit record, and I think Ben's going to get one of them. If I had to pick one of them, I would pick the RBI record.
Yeah, I think, KJ, what would you say? Do you think all 5 of these records could get broken here? Well, obviously, Wyatt and Ben can both break the doubles record. Only one of them will hold it, but they could both break it. What do you think the chances of that are?
Yeah, I think it's, you can never count anyone on this team out. So, I mean, these are all superstar players we're talking about, so I think there's a good shot.
And then, KJ, for the batting average record at the 15-16 age, the record is .464, held by Brennan Nickerson. Landon Nickerson's hitting .468, so basically the same average. What do you think, KJ? Is Landon Nickerson going to overtake his brother here for the batting average record? He's at .468. The record is .464.
Yeah, I think, if you look at their genes, I think Landon got the more handsome gene, and I think he's going to take the record from Brennan as well.
And then, Bernie, the last record here I want to talk about, arguably the most impressive here, the high school ERA record, which has stood for quite some time, Bernie. It stood for 5 years, this high school ERA record. It is 1.71 is the record. Logan Eckert has a 1.66 ERA right now, Bernie. So, again, it's going to take 2 dominant starts, because if he allows 2 runs in 7 innings, Bernie, his ERA goes up. So he's got to be 2 dominant starts, or I guess 3 dominant starts with 3 weekends left. What do you think, Bernie? Do you see Logan Eckert being our high school ERA record holder? He's got 1.66, the record 1.71.
Yeah, I think a couple things I've learned over the past few years about Logan Eckert. If there's ever a pitching question, the answer is Logan Eckert, and you don't doubt Logan Eckert on the mound. This guy's been our Cy Young at least, 3 times at this point. I see no reason. He's giving no proof of to why he's not going to do it.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of a career, Logan Eckert is arguably the best pitcher in Bear history in terms of their entire career. I certainly would not hold it past him. So, a lot of records still to be chased here in the last couple weeks of the season, and I'm excited to go ahead and see how many records we're going to break this season. Last year, we broke 30 records total from our entire Bears players. So, we'll see. I think we could very easily get to 20 this year just because our 2023 class set the record so high. So, I'm excited for that. I'm excited for the last few weekends of Bears baseball. But that's going to do it for this episode of the Bears Baseball Network, and we'll talk to y'all next week.